if you're watching the VOD for this, thank you for tuning in so early and going to the videos afterwards. I'm just getting everything set up. Turning off the filters for my camera because I don't need them anymore because I'm actually shirted today. So hopefully that looks a little better. It's a little large again. My breath sounds should be better now because I put a pretty high-tech thing on my microphone. I've got a sock on it, and that should really be helping with the breath sounds because this sock is top of the line for microphone um, extra noise canceling. So if it sounds a little quiet, let me know. I can turn it back up a little bit, but I didn't want it to be too loud. Um, so a little bit about today. I am slightly salty because there's other Flicker Strike builds that are getting more traction on YouTube. Very happy for those creators. But a lot of the stuff that I have pioneered, I just wish that I could be the one to like give that reach, you know? Feels sad, man. And not enough people are using curse tech either. I see a lot of people using Eye of Winter tech, which I don't think is like. I want to make it as easy as possible to not have to make like weapon swaps and stuff. So I want to go through that and give some more like detailed demonstrations today on exactly how all of that works. And what I'd love is some volunteers to join me in doing some breach stones so that I can have a bigger health pool to work with to see how much damage I'm really doing. And as a way to kind of start off the stream, I wanted to I'll just go ahead and hop right into a Zesht so that you guys can see it. We'll start out with some maps because I do have a second dextral annulment in a ritual right now. Additional strongbox is always fun. And we got some rarity on there too. Not gonna do Val Factory. That doesn't sound like a fun time. Oh, I love Frozen Falls. One of my favorites. Hey, HG Alvarez. I'm glad that you played it and you like it. No surprise here. I really like my build too. I play it all the time. Reminds me I was going to respec my Atlas tree because I really don't want to be doing Asmeri spirits anymore. I wanted to test them out, but meh. They aren't the greatest. Or at least I just haven't hit like a cool one yet.
Map.
Like I've been running Asmeri spirits for like 100 maps and I haven't seen any of the rare ones. So I kind of wish those were even more common than what they adjusted them to be. Find the setting on the microphone real quick. Is that turning us down or turning us up? I think that is turning us up. So we will stay like right here. Okay, right here. Okay, that's a little loud. Sorry for breaking your ears if I am. Test, 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 test. Okay. We are in good shape. Yeah, well, the only reason I wanted to go for Asmeri Spirits isn't even necessarily a rabbit talisman, because yes, those are obviously good div. I just want to try to hit the unique charm, the unique gold charm. And I don't know if that's something that I can like realistically expect to try to hit, because the unique gold charms go for like 2 mirrors right now. Which omen is that? Is that the one that you get from like the Viridian Forest or whatever? That's not a bad idea. But again, I think I'm just gonna spec out of it for right now. Oh, Money of the Hunt. Okay, perfect. I'll have to check that out another time. But like I said, when I have been running as Mary Spirits, I've been mapping a lot slower because I'm not focused on just like clearing the map as fast as I can. I'm literally like escorting them and it's just like slowing down how many maps I do per hour, which isn't ideal. Damn, dude. I didn't get my dextral annulments. Feels bad, man. It's going well, Ty. How's your day going?
Map.
Yeah, man, get in there. Get some mapping done. Sounds sick.
Map.
I guess that's there's better problems to have than that, for sure. But I mean, that's a cool problem to have. That the build is doing so much that it's crashing your game. Happens to me too, though.
Map. Map.
I'm glad that you're welcoming it, my man.
Map.
That was funny.
Map.
I found a pretty good way to implement it. So that it's pretty controlled. And I found a way to implement it on bosses, so I'm just getting an extra 50% extra damage when I boss. Good to see you, Fax. How have you been? I don't know standard prices, but you can start this build for 1 divine, and then you can min-max it for infinite divine. But like killing tier 4s and stuff, I don't know. I could have tracked it better, but I would say that you can do this for 50 divine, 25, 50 divine. You can probably kill tier 4 stuff. It just depends on the staff, really, is the kind of big thing that it depends on. But otherwise, you can be mapping tier 15s for under 2 divine. The only thing you'd want to solve is like defenses, and depending on however you solve that, that'll make it more or less expensive. This one? It's not. It's not yours. I crafted this. But it may be similar to what yours was. This staff is worth 600 divine that I'm wearing right now. If it had critical damage bonus, it'd be worth a mirror. Or attack speed. Yeah, no, I crafted this from 7 melee skills. And I hit T9 fire, lightning, T5 crit, and then the dex, which I can't get rid of without gambling the crit, which I don't have the budget for right now. And I'd probably want to start over, and instead of fire damage, I'd want cold damage anyway. So that's going to be my next project once some of my high div staff sell. I'm going to be doing the private league in June, so I'm going to be playing this league through the end of May, and the goal being just kind of continue crafting some pretty crazy items. And just kind of going from there. There we go. I won't have enough to buy it or defer it if I reroll, so we're not going to reroll. Oh shit. Additional attack damage, intelligence, mana regeneration rate, minion skills. This just needs spirit, and it's insane. Hit spirit, come on. Oh, hit the mana. Wonder what this is selling for though. Take the int off. A Diverino. Yeah. Oh, of course. First click, it takes off the minion skills. What else should I expect? I want to hit the life off of this. And I did, but it's pretty low tier. Evasion rating on both of the hybrid tiers. We'll keep going till the spirit's gone. Yeah, but I want to just see if I could get it bigger. If it hits spirit, it's like 20 div, right? My brain at this point in the league, and like I've had more currency than I've ever had in any other league that I've ever played. My brain is like, if it's not 10 div, I don't want to sell it. Been lucky that way. Those just don't hit as good as they used to now that they're less rare. Definitely cool to see him drop, and I love hearing Maven moan in my ear, but do wish they were. I don't wish they were more rare. I want to see people have access to it because it's like really does enable a lot of stuff for people's builds. But I wanted that to be a divine or something, you know. You guys got to remind me to change my Atlas tree. I still haven't fixed DirectX 12. What do you do? At least it's not like Vulcan was just straight up crashing me out of the game, so.
Nap. Map.
And I kill shit before the spirits can even haunt it, so I don't get anything from them because my shit off screen's too much. First exile problems. I remembered now. I gotta refund my Atlas. That'll work for now.
Nap. Nap.
There she blows. Seven and a half divines. Now we can go sell those things. Where's my omens? I just want it now. 6.5 divines. I want 10. 2. I have Sinistral. That just for 4. 17 divs. Very nice. Anybody in here want to help me? Just basically be a body for doing party T4 Zesht, so I can see like how much damage potential I'm at now. Come on now. wanted to do one thing actually. Because that's 8% magnitude. I don't care about that either. And then this is 9% magnitude and 20% increased effect if 50% duration has expired. 1, 2, 3. I mean, do I just do 3% increased magnitude here? Because then it's still technically more with zone of control. Grounding charm, overcharge tech. Is that the one that, no, I don't know what you're talking about, to be honest. I know there's like, did want to test this though. So how long does this last now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 8 seconds before the boss comes out to get 20% increased. I haven't tried it, facts. What's overcharge? I think it's over here, right? I literally don't think I have support gems, but I wonder if I could put this in, because this is 10% magnitude, right? Like, so shock goes to 30% instead of 20. I don't give a shit about magnitude in maps. I would only care about boss. So I could put overcharge in and charge stuff. I can see if that works. Because I'm not going to put it into flicker. I'll just have it as like a support gem slot swap for that stuff. Yeah, but the charm, I mean, I'm looking. It just uses when you become shocked, though, and you're shocking all the time. So why? This isn't going to have full uptime. No, I know, even in maps, though, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't seem like this would be full uptime, right? Because if I pull this over, Use when you become shocked. You shock yourself, and then it grants immunity to shock. It lasts 3.3 seconds. It's 30 to 40 charges. It takes longer to get those charges back than 3.3 seconds, right? That's all I'm saying. Is that, yes, it's good tech, it is. But, like, you don't really need shock magnitude in maps, right? If some people for sure do. Like, but where I'm at, I mean, there's not a monster that stays alive. It's still good tech because I can use it on bosses. It's still like it's tech that I didn't know about, so I'm glad that you brought it up. So thank you. I appreciate it. Like I can go do I can't believe these aren't selling. Let's do this. We're back up to 32. That's respectable. Breach stones pay for themselves. I can't believe that. Like, you can run breach stones all day long, and as long as you get like one reaver, like one reaver thing, it constantly pays for itself. Yo, Jermaine, how you been, man? I don't even know if I'll be able to see it on the boss. I need I need more people in here. So I can see if the overcharge is working if I slot it into charge staff. What's Night Rain? Just commiserate, just make it so that you do higher magnitude. Yeah, 80% increased magnitude isn't that crazy though. I like the free 50, but 80% on that would be 36 instead of 30. Because I want lightning exposure still. Like there's nothing else that I'd take out of charge staff that I'd like replace. I'll check it out some more, man. It's really good tech. Thanks for bringing it up, but I don't want to like. I'm like starved on like all of my skills. Like it's definitely not going into Flicker or Herald as an example. But I will slot overcharge in for volatility. See if it gets magnitude. I don't even know if you'll be able to see the magnitude on the boss. We'll probably have to slow it down. It was only showing 20%, so it doesn't look like it was working with charge staff. I think I killed him in 2 flickers, so that means that each flicker is doing... Each hit of flicker is doing 17 million. So 17 million times 16, 18, 19. What's 17 million times 19? I want to have more people in the party so that we can... So that's 323 million? If there's people available, I'd love you guys to hop in so that I can see. I think Flicker hits like in maps when I'm like all the way buffed up. I think the highest number I've seen on Flicker, and this is obviously Flicker doesn't include attack speed. This isn't with full like damage gems that make the tooltip go up, but I've seen Flicker hit 1.2 million. I think the magnitude can go even higher though, because I didn't time it correctly. I can make the, I'm not talking like the curse magnitude was that. That's correct, Joey. I was talking about overcharge magnitude. I was looking at the shock number. It was still at 20%. Because overcharge, if it worked in charge staff, that would give me an extra 10% more damage. Because shock magnitude would go to 30%. Or if you just have something that's for sure going to apply the magnitude, but with Flicker, it's like, it's all Flicker, right? And I can't, like, it's not worth swapping something else out of Flicker to make it, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm going to remove Conk Effect, which is 30% more damage, just to get 10% magnitude. If I time this better, it will be a lot better too. Like, so what's 20% increased effect on 57%? I just have to count. I think if I just put it out, like... He activates after about 10 seconds. So I think if I put it out pretty much right away, it should be up. I think that may be too early, but we'll see. See, it only was at 57%. I'm not following, like, what does this even do? Because 50% of the curse duration was expired, but it didn't show up as 57%. Because I was already at 57% before when I was just running this. So I'm not understanding why this isn't working. Because it was expired, right? Like we saw it expire on the floor, so it's over 50% expired. And I didn't kill him as fast because I didn't have my volatility stacks up as much as I needed to. I wanted to lower the price on this. To lower the price on this. I'll lower the price on this. That can stay at 3, that can stay at 7, that can stay at 3. So one more piece of tech, I may include it in my future guide, like another guide update video. But I did undo the changes that I made where I wasn't taking these 4 points, but I'm taking the 4 points again because unstable bond is what's giving us a bunch of damage. So like, god damn it, I didn't mean to do that. Gain 3 volatility when an allied persistent reviving minion is killed. Yeah, I have. Extra fire damage against frozen enemies. It is a dope notable, but not crazy for me because I kill shit before it freezes. But anyways, grant 3 volatility when an allied persistent reviving minion is killed, and the killed thing is their duration and expire, or if they've despawned, they're considered to have died, but it doesn't mean they've been killed. So it won't trigger in those cases. A minion is killed if they reach 0 life, which sacrifice is considered as reaching 0 life. So because of that, we're getting volatility. And then we can get volatility up to our max energy shield, which is right around 50 stacks. So obviously that's why you see my energy shield dip so much right before the boss, but that's just 50% damage as extra chaos. It's definitely good. It applies in maps, but I don't need it in maps, right? Like you've seen how I map. The only thing that I'm like worried about, because mapping you're also going to have a lot of other effects like shrine effects, you're going to have ice bite and innervate going and all that kind of stuff. Like it's not needed in maps. Maybe in the private league I need to go into tech like that because I won't have as insane of gear as I have. So I'll definitely keep that in mind, and I have had my eye on climate change. For my private league build, I'm going to be doing Infernalist Flicker Strike, and I'll be doing Avatar of Fire. So that'll be interesting. Leverage. It sounds familiar. I'm not using leverage. I'm using reach. I don't need it. This could be really good for damage though, but again, I don't need it. What I run in Voltmark cast on freeze is Innervate for the lightning damage, Reach for AoE, Impetus for energy gain, Magnified Effect for AoE. I don't think you did, Jermaine, but that's okay, brother. 50% increased is not that crazy on Voltmark, though, because it has its own critical hit chance, right? So 50% increase, this changes its critical hit chance. Like, you get all of your other increases. It essentially gives you 4% crit, which is good, but not too insane for, like, I'd rather just have the AoE personally. Are you saying cast on crit or cast on freeze? So you're just saying it'll give more energy for cast on critical. That's good to think about too for the future. Again, definitely good suggestions, man. I'm not trying to like minimize anything that you're saying. It's all very good suggestions. Yeah, which is great. Um, the only other thing is there's like one other thing about volatility that I can't remember. So there's those nodes, there's those nodes, there's this one. There's one more volatility node, I think. I feel like there was one more. Maybe not. Or was it like just on the support gems in general? Yeah. It's not this one. I don't really care about it anyway. I thought there was one more thing with volatility that like increases its duration. And then I also wanted to see if there's any other like curse magnitude nodes. But I don't think volatility doesn't count for skill effect duration because I've tried it before. You don't get like longer volatility with skill effect duration. All right, let's go G Money. Thanks for coming in and testing with me. I appreciate it. It doesn't work with Innervate and Ice Bite. The only thing that works with Innervate and Ice Bite is this node right here. Where is it? It's this one. Buffs on you expire 10% slower. Same thing with flames that you pick up. So G Money, if you would, just don't hit the boss when we get to the boss, but you can obviously help me clear. They must have updated that then. Because when I was running 100% skill effect duration, I couldn't get it to work for Innervate and Ice Bite. But this was back in 0.1, so my opinion may be outdated. You can take this stuff if you want it. Just hang back here while I go do the boss. I may have fucked it up again, but that's okay. I did. So it didn't go down to 57%, which is really annoying. If you're still in there, G-Money, you can go finish him. I have used Ambrosia, and I've done the math on it. It doesn't do more damage than any of the other supports that I have in there. And the magnitude testing that I just did didn't work. This node is not working. Impending doom. Oh, you know what? Why it's not working? Is because it's active on my second weapon set. So when I switch back to my first weapon set, it's not active anymore because I'm in my first weapon set. So that's why it's not working anyway. But we can still get 3% magnitude that we don't have, that we wouldn't have otherwise. Because we just get free 3%. And we have 8% here. So it's a 2% increase. Oh, you know what? I can actually take it. Because I go here now. I can do this. And I can go weapon set 2. And get all of this. Oh yeah, now we're cooking. And then we get 2 more extra points. We saved it. So now we've got 9% more magnitude than we used to have. Because I am taking this node now. Fuck yeah. That's sick. Hey Fishy, what's up? You want to do one more, G-Money? Thanks for helping. On the next one, I think we can for sure get it done. No problem. I messed up the combo again, and this time I'm not going to mess it up because I know what I'm doing. Not testing anymore. Thanks, man. Which who are you in Discord, G Money? Or not Discord. In chat. I'm glad you like it, brother. It's my favorite too. The new build is going to be Infernalist. And you know what? That's what we can do the rest of the stream on. Until Henry pops on. Let me know when you're back inside G Money, if it's letting you get back in. I'm in the Breach Zone. I just opened a new one. The new build is going to be Infernalist, and I haven't all the way theory crafted it yet, but I'm pretty close. Your MTX that kills rares, G Money, it horrified me. I thought we were going to get smashed by something I've never seen in this. Oh, Fishy, are you saying is this a new build? No, it's the same build. I'm changing curse magnitude nodes is what you saw when you were first hopping into the stream. So my curse magnitude should be higher than it was. I should be at like 60-ish%, maybe more. And then this time I should be able to one-shot it. And you can take all that stuff, my man. I don't know if it's like only allocated to me or whatever, but if it is, my bad. Okay. Alright. So we are going to chill. Yeah, it's 60%. So 75 million, no problem. Hey Moad, I really appreciate you thinking about that. He is doing a lot better. He's back from the hospital, he's home. He's still sick, still on the mend, but he obviously doesn't need oxygen anymore, so that's great news. Do you want these Howas, G-Money, or do you want to corrupt them? Or do you just want to see us corrupt them, I should say? Well, those are kind of nice rolls. Val. Let's do it, dude. Val the gloves. Do it. Do it. Yes. Kill him. Alright, 1 to 12 is what we're looking for. Dude, these are sick. Reduced attribute requirements? What the hell? That's crazy. Look at those reduced attribute requirements. Those are insane. I got a whole chance shard out of that, dude. But this one is also pretty insane. We'll go ahead and do Torment. Leeches, physical damage is life. Wah wah. Okay, we're gonna chaos it and we're gonna hit that. Okay, we did not hit that. That's okay. Okay, then we took off the attack speed. So we 3 for 3 got super shit mods on that guy, so that was fun. In global? Are you talking about in Discord? Hey, sounds good, G-Money. Hey, thanks so much for coming in and helping me with that. But 75 million one shot. Yeah, Muad. Another piece of new tech. I know that I said that I wouldn't be making too many more changes, but the new tech is... Oh, okay, in free chat. Fax Global 100, okay. That's a pretty sick staff, dude. I dig it, I dig it. Nice. Yeah, so the change, just to reiterate, is unstable bond, singular purpose. Singular purpose was just an extra one. It's 40% increased damage with 200 weapons. That's not even the reason we went for this. Obviously, 40% increased damage is great, but unstable bond is gain 3 volatility basically whenever we sacrifice a minion. So what this means is that when we're doing our boss setup and we're sacrificing minions for power charges, my volatility counter goes up, and then I can let it detonate on myself. And I usually go up to like 50. So yeah, it hits chunks me for a bunch, but now I'm gaining 48% damage as extra chaos. Just for free, by doing my standard rotation anyway. So I discovered that tech like 2 or 3 days ago, and that's what made me change my mind on switching back to a Megalomaniac. It's because 48% damage is extra is better than anything else you can do. And just so that you guys can see on tooltip what that ends up looking like is, okay, here's our tooltip with charge staff. 285k or 257k. And then when I get the charges, this jewel was like 10 chaos, this Megalomaniac jewel. But I haven't advertised it yet either, so... Okay, let's go up to 51. Now look at tooltip, 352,000. So we get like 70,000 tooltip damage just by having that jewel, which there's no other jewel that's going to give us more than that. On boss damage. So our flicker tooltip, without any buffs other than charge staff and that, is 330k. So how I'm gaining volatility is the notable unstable bond. Gain 3 volatility when an allied persistent reviving minion is killed. killed means minions whose durations expire or that are despawned by the player are considered to have died. However, effects that state they trigger when a minion is killed do not trigger in these cases. Minions are only killed if they reach 0 life, and this can be caused by their summoner as well as enemies. So I've a sick-ass megalomaniac because of that, and this thing was only like 10 chaos. So, yeah. The only other thing I want to experiment with is if there's a better thing than From Nothing Diamond. I'm thinking that Storm Charged, like the Mind Over Matter one, could be good. But not really, because Storm Charged isn't that crazy. It's definitely not as good as 75% increased attack damage. The only other one that could be good is Heartstopper for these nodes. But the full life nodes are like super unreliable with charge staff, and I don't love it. Yeah, it's like 25 divine or something, right? There's also there's Dance with Death, but that's really only for spear stuff and acceleration. There's the Iron Reflexes, which would give us 25% here. I don't think that there's enough here for that. And then the last one that I'm considering is Resolute, because you can get 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And if you just take 3, you can get 8, 23, 43% attack damage, critical damage bonus, and 25% critical hit chance for 3 points. So 3 points would be 25% critical hit chance. You know, I actually think I am going to test that real quick, doing Resolute Technique instead. So give me a second. Artifact. Is there any other like nodes right here that I may want to potentially take? This is Thorns, this is Endurance, this is Block. So really it's just these. Awesome, Bloody Zim. Yeah, I do have Unleash on it. I have it on my manual cast one, not on my cast on crit one. But I am gonna actually grab a Resolute Technique from Nothing right now, just to test the tooltip and see if I can actually make it better than what Zealot's Oath is. Because then I can move some crit around in the tree, and I won't need to have as much crit, so... Damn, I'm surprised that it's not more expensive. It's a really good jewel. It's like literally, it's only 2 chaos for like an absolute crazy from nothing for this build, for really any crit based build. Okay, so Oriani refund. Okay, then we can go and take from nothing out. I actually should have double checked my tooltip before taking that out. So it's at 180. And then if I go 1, 2, 3, it's at 217. So that's 40K that I'm getting from this jewel. So if I take those out and I need to go swap this out again. Put that in. And then we do these 3 nodes. 1, 2, 3. That gives us 25% crit. So what is our crit at now? 67.23. And that's at 194. So we have 20K to make up. So here's one area that we can get critical damage bonus swapped. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do this. Go critical damage bonus route. Okay, now what is 65.7? So I think I can take 1 more point out of crit somewhere. So that would be here. And then I can get critical damage bonus here. And then I think that still keeps me capped. That's the wrong one to take out. I think I can take out 1 more critical hit chance. But I don't even know if there's a place that I can take out 1 more. Be this one right here. Is there even another critical damage bonus node is the question. It's not looking like it. Because crit chance, I get if I've done a critical hit recently, but I don't like conditional shit. Is there anything? I don't think so. So I don't even have like a node that I could apply to get more damage anyway. Yeah, so there isn't a node to apply anyway. So the damage difference, it's 203K. I mean, it's good, but it's obviously not Zealot's Oath. But if I needed to get like a lower critical hit chance staff, then I could do it that way. But yeah. So Zealot's Oath is still better. Long story short, for everyone that was just watching on me change all of that shit. $221, 99%. So where did I miss one? I need to swap those around. Okay, 217. Perfect. And we're capped. So yeah. One more thing I need to test actually is if I take the extra critical damage bonus nodes out and I go back into Essence of the Mountain, that is less. So Essence of the Mountain is not as good as just 2 points of critical damage bonus. Okay. That's all I wanted to double check. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Ugh. But yeah, you want From Nothing. Resolute Technique is a good one. Mind Over Matter is a good one. Heartstopper can be a good one. And the best one is Zealot's Oath. And Zealot's Oath is only like a div to my, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah. I think it's just a div. I need to find a chest that has fire resistance and similar stats as my current so that I can get energy shield back up a little bit higher. And so I don't have to run fire resistance doubled, and I can put iron runes back in both of those because I swapped to ingenuity for just more damage. Or I could try to find one that has these exact stats, but it's going to be like impossible to find. You know what? I'll look that up real quick. I'll do it with the window so that you guys can go do some shopping with me. So we'll say like 450 energy shield. It has crit. I need 24%. It has rarity because I like rarity. And it has fire resistance. 28. And then we have power charge as the enchant and search. No results found. Which makes sense. This is very specific. What if we just take the rarity off? Still no results found. Okay, we'll take the fire resistance off. Okay, yeah, we're not finding. Let's go down to 350. See what my options are. 383 has crit chance, has fire resistance. Has crit chance and cold resistance. So let's say fire. Actually need 28% fire res. Yeah. Not going to be really replaceable. I mean, 475 is also super high, so really it has to come down to the chest piece. And the chest piece, if I want those stats, like to maintain the same stats that I have right now, I don't even need cast on crit, but I like having it for boss utility if I wanted to play with something else. So we need 30 spirit. I believe on the intelligence side of things, we don't actually need that much. The only reason why I have the dex like this is so that when I take this off, I can still run level 20 if I was going to replace the dexterity eventually. So this still needs to be 31 int. And it doesn't need to be 31 int because I can just put a core in here because the core in here is not that crazy. So we'll do 21 int as our search filter. Intelligence, so we'll go 21. We will go lightning res because we do need that at 23. We will go fire res at 28. And search. And that's not what we wanted. And we also want like 850 ES if it exists. Yeah, it's 120 div. That one has 50 spirit, 50 spirit, 50 spirit. I want somebody to post one that's like 30 spirit that's corrupted like this. That's like desperate to sell it and see if they can sell it for like 30 div or something. Because I wouldn't want to go much lower than 850 anyway. Let's just say like search 825, see if anything comes up. Yeah, still 100 div because 50 spirits on there. But this one's uncorrupted. What a mad lad. But unfortunately, I have to have a fire resistance core in here just so you guys can see the difference. 5636. If I got one that was like similar ES. Where's my Iron Rune? So I'll slap an Iron Rune in there instead and slap an Iron Rune in here. My ES goes above 6,000. So I'm like losing 400 ES by needing to run those cores in the fire right there. But it caps me on fire and it enables me to run Ingenuity this way. But if I don't, I obviously don't have to run Ingenuity and I can be res capped, but I lose 20k damage. If I take this off, I lose 22k damage. So I don't want to lose 22k damage. So for now, until we can find that chest, we'll be a little unoptimized. And it just hurts my soul looking at it a little bit, because it's so ugly when you look at these and they don't have the energy shield buffs in them. It's just like gross. I want to see all the energy shield. So yeah, losing about 400-ish energy shield right now. But we're fire capped. Eventually we want to get this exact quarterstaff. We just want to change the... I don't care. We can change the fire to cold or we can change the lightning to cold. I don't care. I don't care if it's lightning or if it's fire that's on there. I just want like T9 fire, T9 cold at a minimum, T10 potentially. But this is my next project is going to be getting one that has cold damage, because we're doing mostly cold damage anyway. Like 70% of our damage is cold. Yeah, not much. Ken, how about yourself? Just doing a bit of mapping, a bit of all the things. One other thing I wanted to try out was running Ferocity. I just want to like get Sniper's Mark to be more consistent. And I can't get it to be more consistent for whatever reason. To be like popping off. And another thing, if I run a 50 Spirit Chest, I can run Deadly Herald instead of Lightning Mastery. What's Deadly Herald? 30% more damage. Yeah. Which would be roughly 20% improvement over lightning skills here. Well, let's go run some maps. Martial Tempo, Unbreakable, Rising Tempest, Ambush maybe? Ice skills, like the Cold Mastery. And I think that's, those are like, that's 4, so whatever the 5th one is, I don't know. You can change them if you want to, but I don't know why you'd want to. It's 50% crit and instant leech, so it's super great. Like, it's really hard to find 50% crit. Unless you're, like, it just gets you super close to crit cap. Like 50% is crazy. It's really good. It's like a whole ass notable. And the notable that gives 50% crit has a downside. It lowers your critical damage bonus, whereas this one doesn't. But yes, instant leech is a big requirement for leeching ES, so the other downside is that you have to run Voracious, which is, one, an expensive Anoint, and two, you lose damage on the Anoint, right? So either gain damage from your gloves or gain damage from your Anoint. But I think full leech and tons of crit on your gloves versus the damage on gloves and a suboptimal Anoint, I think it's a no-brainer to run the gloves. But if you want to run different gloves, totally up to you. That's how I started this build, and then I realized the error in my ways and decided to go this direction instead. No, just avoid the maps that you don't like.
Nap.
If there's a map you don't like, don't run it. I hate Val Factory. I wouldn't run it on any build that I play. But otherwise, you can really run any map that you want on this. The mods that I generally try to avoid, especially early on, I can do them now, but I would suggest avoiding ailment threshold maps. Everyone avoids temp chains maps because they're temp chains. Like, there's a temp chain stack. You don't want to do temp chains. And then monster elemental resistances as map bonfires that are generally good to avoid early on. Later on, when you have enough damage that it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. But like early on, monster elemental resistances and ailment threshold are the maps that I avoid. You'd be super surprised how I can't count. Like I've literally lost count of how many times instant leech has absolutely saved me. Even if you're pressing your potion consistently. And on top of that, it gives you attributes too that were pretty attribute hungry on this build. I really love the gloves and I'm not replacing them ever. Like, they're my forever gloves. But you'd be very surprised how often the instant leech saves you. And I just have no idea where I'd find 50% crit from. I'd have to get it in tree, and then it'd be unoptimizing the tree, and then I'm losing damage in the tree for not running the gloves, so... Yeah. It was my opinion. Everyone can have their own on this. Like, I don't think that it's 100% right, but from playing it and testing it for hundreds of hours now, I think that it's a good call. I did run a version of this in 0.1 that ran Painter's Servant, and it was doing better than Howa. If that's the one that you're talking about. Painter's Servant. I'm sweating. Give me a second. I'm gonna grab a drink and open the window and do all that kind of stuff, and then I'll be back and we'll keep playing. Or instead of playing, I'm gonna do my potential build for the private league on June 6th. So that's another like good segue. Join the Discord, subscribe to the YouTube. I'm going to be doing a private league at the beginning of June at some time, probably around the 6th. It'll probably be when 3.26 is running in Path of Exile 1, but I don't have interest in Path of Exile 1 personally. So I want to be running a league that the community can be playing in to have kind of another active, fresh experience before 0.3, where we can all help each other theory craft builds, help each other find items, and just kind of get ourselves in the motions of understanding crafting, what we want to look for in items, what cool interactions we can find in the tree, like the volatility one that I found recently. Those are all things that I want to make sure that we're doing. So, be right back. All right. All right. I'll lean back mode the rest of the night. My back is killing me. Bob back. Bob back. All right, what do we want to do? Okay, so what we're gonna do, so I'm in lean back mode, is this. So, my plans for the private league. This is a stream exclusive for right now, so you guys are the only ones who are gonna see this. Whereas yeah. So, Infernalist. Which Ascendancy Infernalist. So we are going to take, so there's two paths that we can take. And I think it's going to have to be the low life belt version. Is critical chance and grinning immolation for 50% more critical damage bonus. We are going to take life, altered flesh. We will take this for maximum energy shield. And we will take this for spirit. So this will give us big energy shield and big spirit, so we won't have to get spirit from our gear. 25 max life on a, let's just say 2000 max life character is going to be let's just do the math on it so you guys can see. If you have 2000 max life on your character and you divide that by 25, we get 80 spirit, which is the requirements that we're generally going to need for 90% of spirit skills. And this isn't exclusive to any other spirit sources. So it just really enables us to solve spirit, but it also helps us solve something else, which is PoE 2 DP is Coward's Legacy. You are considered on low life while at 75% of maximum life or below instead. So how this tech works is such that because we're reserving to get energy shields and life, that will take us below 75% and we will be at low life at all times. because we'll be at low life at all times. That will enable us to take Pain Attunement. When you're on low life, you get 30% more critical damage bonus. So from the Ascendancy and from Pain Attunement, we are going to gain 80% more critical damage bonus. On top of this, we can take Avatar of Fire so that we only have to worry about fire in general. Like, we don't have to worry about dealing any other damage types. Yes, ISO. That's exactly what we're cooking for. We don't have to worry about optimizing for any other damage types, so we can just do that. This right here is 27 points out of 123. So with the rest, it'll look very similar to what you've seen before. We're going to go ahead and get Struck Through and Heartbreaking. So this is at 57 of 123. We'll get the same shit that we've done before. So let's just pretend like this is a full-ass character. Get Overflowing Power, Lust for Power, Power Within, 82 of 123. Still definitely want Eternal Youth. Still definitely want all of these nodes. And I don't think that we can get up here, but we might. This is 105 of 123. And then we still want to like flow like water and crashing wave. All this stuff. This is obviously not optimized at all, but this is what the tree would look like, theoretically speaking. What I might do is go here and get Barbaric Strength and Vulgar Methods as a way to get more critical damage bonus and critical hit chance. And I just thought of something that is actually going to be kind of a problem, is mana, because Mana Leech is going to be a pain in the ass if we're doing only fire damage. So we may nix the Avatar of Fire idea, but this is the generalized idea. I don't know. I don't think it would be too goofy, because like, if I go into PoE here, like, what is it gonna brick here? You know what I mean? We wouldn't be running Herald of Thunder, we wouldn't be running Cast on Freeze, we'd be running some version of Cast on Critical, we may run a version of Cast on Ignite. Because I was doing some testing, and Cast on Ignite does gain enough energy to make it so that I can pop Voltaic Mark. And then Voltaic Mark's igniting, and then that starts the Cast on Ignite chain again, and so is Herald of Fire is igniting. So that, like, Cast on Ignite would work. It's not as good as Cast on Freeze, but it works. And if you have a shit ton of fire damage, then you're going to be igniting like crazy. Don't need to shock, because we're not running Herald of Thunder. We're going to run Herald of Fire. And Herald of Fire will be insane because of overkill damage. If we have 80% critical damage bonus, I said I was going to be leaning back, and now I'm not. If we have 80% critical damage bonus, like more, that's essentially like cores, right? So let's say we get a staff that has 36% critical damage bonus on it, plus a 24%. So that's like the napkin math on it. Let's assume we have the same amount of critical damage bonus as we have right now. 559%, right? If we just add 80% multiplier to this, And it would be more than 80% multiplier. We'd be multiplying it by 36 because of the weapon, plus 30 from low life, plus 50 from the ascendancy. We'd be at 116% more critical damage bonus. So I would just need to like take out the cores, so whatever 24% of this is. So I have 24% cores in, so 559 times 0.24 is 134, so 559 minus 134. So this is our number that we can start with. Then we can take another calculator out, and then we can assume, so 425 times 1.3 from low life, 5 from, so 1.8, because that's 80% more, and then 24 from the weapon, which is 104%, plus like, let's say we get a weapon with 35, so that would be like 139%, so it'd be 2.39. So our critical damage bonus would eclipse 1000. And we can get a lot more critical damage bonus on gear and in tree than we currently have, because I can just focus on doing critical damage bonus instead of it does ignite. It counts as ignite as the Herald. And I have tested that Herald of Ash, its ignite effect triggers cast on ignite. I haven't decided what I would put into cast on ignite, but it can trigger cast on ignite. This is like very early stages, but just like, yeah, it for sure triggers cast on ignite. Like if I take cast on freeze out and put cast on ignite, it would work if I was running Herald of Ash. It works. I tested it in 0.2, so I don't know if it's something that's like newly updated, but if we look at Herald of Ash, and I'm almost wondering if, like, to solve more things, I don't even take Energy Shield and I have this be a life-based character. Like if we look at the Ascendancy here, instead of doing this, we only, because if we reserve 25% of life, Coward's Legacy still keeps us on low life, right? Because it's 75%. So we could also have more magnitude, but that doesn't matter because Avatar of Fire would be contributing to magnitude. So while on high Infernal Flame, gain Infernal Flame and take maximum life and energy shield as fire damage when Infernal Flame reaches maximum. So I just need to find out if, like, I need to learn more about the Infernal Flame mechanics. So that's just low Infernal. So I just want to know Infernal Flame. I just want to search for this. Infernal Flame. Like, I don't feel like there's enough information about Infernal Flame. And then base fire damage. Okay, so so I understand that. So mana becomes flame, and once it's full, you take damage. So how much damage do you take as fire damage? Because I don't even want to take the second node. Well, I don't have a fucking Infernalist in game, so... So is it always replaced? Like, how does Pyromantic Pact work? Like, your mana bar is just no matter what, it's Pyromantic Pact. So like, when you reach max, you take maximum life and energy shield as fire damage when it reaches its maximum. But how much is the fire damage? Because if this is the case, then I don't have to worry about mana costs, and then I just need to worry about life leech. Because then I would just have to worry about life leech, and I don't need any mana anywhere. When you reach max Infernal Flame, it does your entire life and ES as fire damage? Oh, but it's pre-mitigation. That's how much damage it would do. So if you have 90% fire res, like I would plan to have in this build, then it would be like 10% of my life when I reach max. Does anyone have an Infernalist in the chat that can double check what Pyromantic Pact says in game? You don't need to change your character. I can figure it out. I have a buddy who has an Infernalist, and then as you cap out the fire orb thing. Okay. I'm looking right here, and it says 90% of your life in ES is fire damage. Which, if you have 90% max fire res, then that shouldn't be a problem. But anyways, I'm gonna be done for tonight. My son woke up and he's not feeling very good. I really appreciate everyone hopping in and doing some theory crafting with me, killing the boss at even higher difficulty, did 75 million in one flicker. That'll be a nice clip, 75 million damage. I think we can do even higher. One of the goofy things is, let's say you have 500 flame, you spend 400 and 400 again, you start at 0 again. How much flame do you get, though? Is the other thing, Christian. We'll play with it. I'm gonna. My buddy has an Infernalist that I can play with on standard. But anyways, yeah. Have a great night, everybody.